Hey, hey. Hi, guys. Welcome back. All right. So, shall we get on into this? By the way, guys, I'm sorry I was away completely and entirely, a little longer than I'd expected, but I'm glad to get back to our routine now. So, let's do a check in for the topic of love. We have a Two of Wands. It starts out sideways. This could be shared energy, this could be more than one person who's of the same opinion. Wouldn't it be lovely to not paint what we see, but paint something better? You notice that we have like a forest and it's kind of dreary, but then instead we have an artist who says, I see the forest, but I'm going to paint brilliant, red zinnias and dahlias and, just make it still an outdoor scene. I see nature, but I see it differently. I feel like this is the hope that two people have, that something could be a lot brighter and a lot more beautiful and a lot more colorful. But the only reason I say possibly more than one person feels this way is because it is sideways, so I can look at that as shared energy. We've got a Four of Pentacles. Hi, everyone. Violet. Hi, honey. Slay Princess. Amani. Nope. Really great to see you guys. Four of Discs is a little different in this deck because what we actually see is all of these elements of nutrients and harvest coming together on this card, right? Normally this is holding on, holding back, but instead what we have is during a time period where things have been held on or held back, they've been fermenting. And in this case, fermenting is a good idea. Or maybe I could even switch the word and we'll say fomenting, right? Creating something. There's been a thought that's coming on in the back of somebody's mind and their subconscious. Yes, they've been holding back. Yes, they really haven't had relationships, so they've dreamt of what a good one would be like, and maybe they've been waiting for something like that, so they've been bubbling and fermenting this idea into something so much more beautiful. I kind of think if I were going to be less poetic about it, I would say that this was the healing process for characters that have been kind of determined. I don't want to have a dreary, confusing forest full of trees for my romance. Instead, I've been thinking for a long time about, and even fantasizing about and daydreaming about how maybe I could rewrite my love story, how I could meet somebody and I wouldn't have the same kind of love stories that I had in the past. Let's just do a quick look at the past because of the forest of dark trees. We have a Six of Swords, again, sideways. Holy smokes. I'm going to continue to say I think it's shared energy. And on that Six of Swords, you notice all the old history, right? We notice all the daggers. I'm going to say that it was in the past. It was really hard to move on from ancient history, or our character or characters met people who still weren't over their exes, so exes would show back up and ruin what could have been a beautiful thing. It was always murky. It was always, I don't know if this person is really wanting to date me, or are they lost in thoughts of their ex. It's really hard to date somebody when there's a ghost of somebody living in the connection with us. And I just say that because of the mummified energy that we see, and we've got multiple layers of it, and we got little Anubis down here too, and it just feels like, with the sarcophagi and all that, it's the past was filled with too many layers. You shouldn't have four ghosts in a relationship between two people, right? So I'm thinking that we have a character. In fact, let's see if we can figure out who is our character. Can I get a name for our character, or how shall we describe at least character number one? We have got the Five of Cups. Don't really have a name for them yet, other than we'll call them our starfish person. This is somebody who has, I'm going to say they may have had 5 failed relationships. It ended up empty bowls. Now, these abalone shells, actually, I love the abalone shells. They can be used for a lot of things. I use mine for a charm bowl, but they can be used sometimes for, making offerings. Like if you're going to lay a piece of, say, sage to smudge something and cleanse something. But I would almost hint that perhaps our character at a certain point in time, even, like prayed, hey, sent up prayers to the universe, like, hey, let this one be a real one. And again and again and again, they got disappointed and their prayers weren't heard. The Five of Cups is loss. It's a feeling of mourning a loss. So I'm going to say that at least one character involved in this storyline probably had exactly what we described. relationships that didn't work out, love stories that didn't go anywhere, romantic partners that would leave them and go back to exes. And maybe that was the MO. Maybe that's what a character knew again and again and again. Let me ask, when I keep saying that I feel like this is two people who've been thinking along the same lines because that card was sideways. Let's see do we have a second character here that is sharing the same opinion? Ooh, 3 of Cups. Yes. Okay, good. 6 of Pentacles. Yeah. And the Princess of Wands. Yeah. Okay. So we definitely have the story where we're basically talking about 2 individuals who've probably known similar storylines. They've both been disappointed in love. They've both had the same story play out again and again. I give my heart to somebody, but guess what? They're still in love with somebody else. I give everything I've got thinking they're going to give it to me also. But guess what? They get pulled away to some other lover really easily. There's always some other spark. They've always got a roving eye. They've always got somebody else, until finally I realized, hey, if they can be pulled away from me so easily, then maybe they belong with someone other than me anyhow. So in that case, universe, bring me the person that's right for me. Instead of me meeting all these people that I would offer the best of me to, and then they take the best of me, but then still pick somebody else instead. Give me the person that would like what I've got to offer. Okay, so I think that this is like a shared energy between 2 individuals, both of whom would like to have their love story be better than the crap they have known. That's beautiful, because I feel like they share a lot of the same thought processes. And I think that they've been thinking about it, fermenting on this for a long time. And actually, maybe that's what they both needed to do, is build into their minds first a better idea. They can't be primed to keep falling for people that bring third parties in or abandon them for other lovers. They can't be primed to think, okay, so I know the routine. I'll meet somebody. I'll be all excited. They'll act like they're into me. And then they'll be peeled away as soon as they think of an ex, or an ex calls, or they spot somebody else who looks a little shinier than I do that day. Both of these characters need to quit assuming that that's how their love story is going to go, by instead having, this is why they held back. I mean, this could have been 4 months, 4 years, 4 weeks. It's probably a bit of a longer time period, because it takes a while to make bread and beer. But these characters decided, I'm not dating anybody until I figure out how to change and rewrite my love story. I don't want that again and again and again. Is it always going to be the same? I meet somebody and then they're so easily pulled away by other lovers, or they come in, but they didn't want to start new. They always still wanted their ex. They were just using me as leverage to make an ex jealous, or whatever it was. That they really thought about this. How do I rewrite a story? I don't want that to be my expectation, that my story goes the way it has again and again and again. That's why they've held back. That's why these 2 in this story, these are 2 people who've been single because they wanted to figure out how to change the trajectory, change their timeline. And I would say it's because repetitiously it's been the crappy again and again and again. Hi, everybody. So great to see you guys. All right, let's see. Yeah, Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is that breakthrough moment, that moment of epiphany. How do I change this? Well, first I had to realize that that's what I was allowing to expect. That's the love story that I knew so many times, that I was braced for it. I was expecting it, but I needed to sit and envision myself painting a different love story. You know how they say that, like, pro golfers, they practice their swing and they practice, but then they also will do a lot of like visualization of themselves, hitting the ball and having a satisfying, perfect connection. And then they envision it in their mind's eye without moving. They envision the ball going and the ball hitting and landing in the little hole. I'm sorry, I've never golfed in my life, so I have no idea the proper terminology. I just know I listened to some pro golfers tell me that that's like the mental training of imagining this happening again and again and again was like something that they also really believed helped their game. And I would just say that's maybe a different kind of manifesting, and saying, no, I'm not going to have any jitters and believe that, oh God, I don't know what's going to happen. I'm going to go out there and hit the ball. And what if it goes sideways? What if I swing and miss? Because thinking about that can almost make you so nervous that then you will do that. Your arms will freak out. Your muscle memory will, fail you, or you'll wig out and just through sheer nerves, hit the ball in the wrong direction. So instead, they would only leave space in their heads to think every single time, this is my mentality. I always hit the ball and it always goes in that hole. It always lands where I want it to. It always does that. And that's kind of like the mental training. And I want to say that's what these characters have had to do. Every time they start envisioning, what would it be like to have a new romance? Well, I would meet somebody wonderful, and then it would turn out that they have another lover. Wait, no. I'm rewriting that. I'm painting the story different. I would meet somebody and they're wonderful. And in my mind's eye, let me also conjure up a story of they're actually single. They're uncomplicated. They are funny and fun. They're looking for a good life. And there's somebody who is sincere and knows who they are and knows what they're looking for. And we mesh well and we complement each other and we have something we build together. That's the fantasy I'm going to tell myself again and again and again. That's how I'm going to change my outcome. And maybe it sounds really silly, maybe it sounds really daydreamy, but isn't that a better thought process? Hey, if we're going to fantasize anything, why not fantasize the best? Why would we ever fantasize? I'll meet somebody, they'll be really great. And then their ex will probably call, and then they'll, somebody we haven't even met, but we're telling ourselves all these shitty stories about, and then they'll cheat on me, but they'll still try to stay with me, but they'll confuse me and they'll lie to me and I'll feel like a lunatic. And then I'm hearing that song, I'm a Psycho by Anne Marie. That song is so good. I'm a psycho. Because in it, she's, the guy keeps saying all these in his little rap portion of the song about how, he always is so respectful of women. And then she says, but, you were with her and Trina and, all these, how'd you even meet her and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, there's all the receipts that he's been a total cheat, but he keeps just saying, what? No, you're just psycho. And I just feel like that's something where why even talk ourselves through a negative mindset on anything? We all have creative minds. So if our characters are going to have creative minds in this story and they're going to daydream and fantasize anyway, why not fantasize, indulge in the greatest possible outcomes and envisioning the greatest possible outcome? It's not to live in la la land. It's, like I said, with the golf analogy, envision. Probably most golfers don't go, let me think about how I'm going to miss and I'm not going to win the tournament and I'm not going to make a name for myself. They probably don't want to envision that. Morgan, you angel, thank you so much, love. You're so sweet. Thank you. Yes, Rachel's magic. I so agree with you. We have the High Priestess. This is very much about envisioning things. And it says, at least for this story, not saying this is legit or real, but I'm saying in this story, the power of the internal self, the subconscious, is of the utmost importance to change the external world in a tangible and meaningful way. Thinking crappy stories to ourselves about how crappy things are going to go is going to bring about crappy results. Or certainly fill our heart with pain. We imagine people cheating on us and we haven't even met yet. Hell no. Why would we do that? This storyline says that our characters are learning the importance of thinking the best for ourselves, the same way we would want the best, or the same way, how it's like, it's really nice to hear friends like give us confidence, and say, if anybody's got this, you've got this. And that little pep talk before, we go out and do something. It's like, man, my friends all are here to support me. They all thought I could do this. So as I go, whatever, take the stage, do something unrelated to love, obviously, in this analogy, that little boost of confidence can make us feel more empowered. And maybe we really do a better job instead of feeling really bad inside and stepping up and, assuming like, I probably won't be any good at this. And everybody agrees I won't be any good at this. Now, sometimes I would say that can backfire if everybody thinks that we're going to suck. Sometimes we go, fuck it. Who cares? If I do, I'll just be apparently like I got nothing to lose because they don't think I'm much anyway. On the other hand, I could care less what anybody thinks. So I have total freedom to just go out there and not care. And then I do my very best. I do think it can work in the opposite direction as well. Sometimes when we aren't stressed, when we don't have the pressure of, I have to focus on this going well, I have to believe in this. Sometimes there's a sense of peace in that as well. But for this storyline, it is really more about the importance of the subconscious and our characters knowing that they have to change their internal dialogue and their internal daydreams so that every time they start imagining having a lover in their life, they have to reroute their brain when they start to think, I'll meet a great person and then they'll go cheat on me. Nope, throw that, stop right there. If they need to be elaborate about it, say they'll cheat on me, but then I'll find out, no, that was my fears talking. This person was out buying me a gift. This person was telling their ex, don't come around again. I'm in love with me. They need to rewrite the fantasy in their head, and they need to believe that they're the person that is worthy of that love, because it kind of starts with them knowing it in themselves. Maybe it's a cheeseball story, but actually I kind of dig it, because I think that there's a lot of positivity and, kind of like underlying, if we want to believe that anything in our life is going to go different, don't we have to believe it? Don't we have to have the courage to set our mind to it? And that's hard to do when we keep disempowering ourselves again and again. So I'm kind of like totally on board with these characters changing their internal dialogue like that. Even if it's a mind game, I don't want to call it a game. It's more of the intuition. It's a character saying, wait a second, what am I worth? I'm worth a lot. I'm a human being walking this earth. I'm supposed to be here in this time, in this place, just like everybody else. I have a ton. I know I give a lot. I know I would love somebody right. I know I would love them good. I know I'm spicy, flexy like a sex pretzel. I know I got it going on. So somebody wants all that from me. So that's what I know I'm going to be connecting to. That's what I'll envision for myself, is somebody who's going to be thrilled to be with me and I to be with them. That's the story I now tell myself. That's the painting I paint. That's the daydream I dream. That's what I've decided on. I love the fact that these characters seem to have waited to date anybody else until they could tell themselves these happier underlying storylines. So what does that mean for them? Have they gotten there? Are they ready? Because I kind of think that, I love that, Morgan. That's a great quote by RuPaul. I love it. We have the Temperance card upright. I said, are they ready? And we literally have one bird flying away and a new bird flying in. Yes, they're ready. They're ready for this. There's been it's not even that they threw out the negativity. It's that they balance. Like, there's always still going to be negativity and fears and things like that come up inside of any character, but they have come into like a calibration. In the past, all they assumed was the worst will always be my storyline. That stress level, that negativity, that negative thought pattern, the way their brain was like conditioned to go down this terrible avenue, that has been recalibrated. And I think that this is a perfect time for these characters, to meet each other. This is two people that I think they're going to be a great match. We have a 9 of Wands. We have a Page of Cups. These are the wounded warriors that you can see how many times her blouse has been ripped, but you notice there's still this rose. There's still this, sometimes to get to the really good thing, every time we reach for it, we do get snagged and we get shredded until we think, wait a second, if we're going to go cut roses, that they make the special gloves, the leather gauntlet gloves that go like up to your elbows so that you can reach in to the rose bushes. She didn't have those on. Maybe these characters didn't protect themselves very well in the realm of love, and meaning they didn't, they didn't have the right, well, in this case, the right outfit on, but they do now. And you can absolutely get that blooming rose. You can absolutely have that love story. Yes, it took a couple of painful lessons. You reach into a rose bush again and again, wanting that beautiful bloom, and you just keep getting cut. And then you learn. You learn to either change your position so you're not going to be reaching through anymore and getting snagged, or you change your clothes, you put on the gauntlet gloves, and you do it right. This is about them needing to do romance right, which is interesting because this is not victim shaming or anything like that. This is such an empowering story. These characters are ready and they know it now. They know that maybe it's almost like, I want to say, the common denominator in them not having, great love stories was not, I'm not going to say it was them per se. It was the fact that they hadn't realized that little subtle, really awesome additional skill set that they can pull into it, which is just like with the golfer, use the mental thought process to imagine having great romances and to reminding oneself of one's worth. That is the secret sauce here. And that's the thing that these two have learned. The other thing that I think that does is that it brings our characters to a point where they're able to really, when they keep thinking, in my mentality, every time I think about how I'm going to have a really great relationship and how somebody's going to treat me, if in reality I meet someone and they're being sketchy and they're being shady, I'll be like, wait a second, this doesn't fit into my fantasy of how they're supposed to treat me. I'm not dealing with people that are sketchy and shady, people that are telling me lies. If they don't want to sit down and talk to me and look me in the eyes and, there's transparency, then they probably don't fit into that painting that I painted in my mind of what a great romance was going to be like. I kind of think that this is the way, in a non-bossy manner, these characters are able to identify what kind of a romance they really want and deserve and stick to it, so they don't accept less than what they really want. I know we're using like visualization, almost daydream fantasy aspect in order to create like a kind of like a reality for these characters. But again, better to seek the truth of what they really want a connection to feel like, how they want to experience it, without making it over the top. Like, oh, I want them to have $1 million and they buy me a pony, and they, it doesn't have to be fantasy land of, I'm going to fall in love with somebody who takes me to their castle. And we're just talking about the basics here of, I think asking for a truthful conversation in romance, like that's a big benchmark that these characters have not enjoyed. They have had consistently third party energies, and they have had consistently them being left high and dry again and again, because they weren't dealing with people that were on the up and up, people who would get pulled away by other lovers. So all they're asking for, all they're fantasizing about is, how amazing it would be to sit down, have a cup of coffee with somebody that I actually believed was telling me the truth. That's not a lot to ask for, but I think that this was the thing these characters got so primed to not even have that baseline being met. And this is them turning that storyline around, so they will finally have that, believe that they can have that, and then it actually happens in the real world for them. Because if it doesn't feel like what they've been envisioning, if they're like, oh, I got that sinking feeling inside, I can tell somebody's lying through their teeth to me again, they're going to be out. They're done. That's not what my fantasy is. That's not what I told myself. That's not where the golf ball is supposed to land. So screw this. I'm not doing it. Not unless it's falling into place. I kind of think these are characters who haven't had wins in love, and that's why they had to first envision what would that feel like, and then intend on getting that and not accepting less than that. With them meeting, what is this like? We have got the Four of Pentacles, we got the Eight of Cups, we got the Seven of Swords, we got these cards of like real confirmation. I think when they meet each other, it will probably be some real conversation that'll be very truthful. And I'm not saying they're going to sit down and dish about all the hurt and pain that they've gone through. What I think they're going to say is, oh yeah, I got tangled up in relationships where somebody was still married. They were staying with their ex because of money. So I bounced. I moved on. I don't like complicated entanglements and people that stay married to others while trying to date me. So I just moved on. That's why I'm single. I'm looking for somebody who doesn't have entanglements. And they might be like, yeah, I dated people that, pretended that they were over stuff when really they were still a train wreck over an ex, crying every day over an ex, looking at the ex, stalking them on their social media while pretending that they were trying to build with me. And it felt like there was a ghost all the time of the past in our relationship. And that's why I'm single, because I don't want people that aren't over their exes. I feel like this is characters that are going to be able to say that to each other point blank. And it's the nicest way to say, this is what I experienced. That's why I don't do that anymore. And I decided it'd be better to be single than be with people that haven't closed chapters. So basically, like, who are you? Are you on the same page with me? It's kind of a nice way not to, cry and, bemoan all that has been done wrong to me. These are not victimized characters that we're talking about. These are characters who thought about how to change their world, change your outcome, change your romantic history. And how do you begin? You begin with, who are you? What footing are you on? What's the truth? What are you really looking for? Do you still have people that you haven't closed chapters with? Or are you like me? You've closed chapters and you really want to start a new one, fresh and clean and clear. And I just think that these two are starting on that footing. And that is the amazing part. This is what they've been manifesting. This is what they've been waiting for. This is what they've been preparing themselves to meet, uncomplicated partners. Now, it doesn't mean that they'll instantly meet somebody who's uncomplicated. They might meet a couple of people that are exactly like what they've known in the past. The difference is they'll be able to spot it and not be upset about it and be like, oh, great, here we go. Another another love story that goes the same way. They're going to boogie on out like, oh, it sounds like you're still hung up on your ex. Peace out. Hope you heal. Anyway, onward. Let me go meet the next person. But I think this is the story. We're not seeing the interim. We're not seeing how many other cups of coffee they may drink with exes or people that aren't over their exes before they meet each other. We're just getting to the good stuff in this story of two people that are pretty damn straightforward. We've got Page of Swords, we've got Knight of Swords. This is something where I think if these two have enough common ground to start with, where it's like, yep, I'm single, you're single. Now let's start the process of talking to each other more, seeing each other more, texting each other more, writing to each other, calling each other. And then we'll kind of see the truth of this, right? Because people can say anything, but when there's consistency, and this is all about communication, this is all about, the two of them like learning to listen to each other, learning to communicate to each other. That's what makes this relationship grow. That's what makes these two really get to understand each other and know each other better. What are they going to find out about each other? 6 of Wands. I think that these two are hitting the people jackpot. I think that these two are going to discover more and more how much they respect one another. I feel like both of them probably have made wonderful progress in some area of their life. They could both be individuals who are really well respected by the people who love them. They could, because I think these are two like real givers that we're describing here. They both could be empaths who have learned how to, I'll say, control the empathic energy of overgiving on accident or getting caring so much about somebody who's broken without realizing, wait a second, they're broken, they're still broken up over their ex, they shouldn't be trying to date me, of course they're not going to be able to give to me, they want me to fix their wounds while they still want somebody else. I can feel their need, but their need isn't for me, it's for that ex that they still want to heal with. I just feel like this is kind of maybe the story of two very sweet, very empathic, and very powerful individuals. You can't be an empath without being incredibly powerful, right? You're a deep well that has a lot for other people to suck from. But recognizing that I'm the deep well that other people keep coming to get something from when they're broken, and me saying, whoa, sorry, but no, you can't just drain me. I think that that's what this big message is. But I think as these two get to know each other, we see them respecting each other more and more. We see them kind of being in awe of one another. I feel like they could both be very surprised. They could both be someone in their own environment. Like maybe they're very well known in their community. Maybe they're very well known in their work field or their profession, or heck, even everybody that knows them is like, oh, so-and-so's, if they speak their name, like many people know their names. It could even be that one of them or the other of them or both of them are famous. Fame can come in a lot of different ways. It's just that their name comes across other people's lips. And I think that they're both going to be a little bit stunned to be like, wait a second, I thought you were just a person when I met you. You didn't tell me that you're famous. You didn't tell me that that everybody knows your name. You didn't tell me that part about you, that's you're so well respected. That's so amazing. It feels like these two have the exact same quality. And finally, they're getting their justice. There has been, I think that people who know these characters have, people that are supporters of them have all known that, oh, they got a raw deal. There's plenty of people that know the real story. Like, oh, no, so-and-so's a sweetheart whose ex was awful to them. They were a cheat. They were this and that. I feel like they have fierce loyalty from friends and people that care about them on both sides of the fence. But I just feel like these two are going to realize that they might hear more of each other's life story through the friends and family or the communities that support them than they will. Because I don't think either one of them is sitting there, dishing too much on what they've been through. We saw them both touch base on it. But really, it was just like, no, I'm single because X, Y, and Z, because of what I went through, and I don't want to deal with people that don't close chapters. That's about as much as they say. And then they move on with getting to know each other, which I think is so strong and so beautiful. But it's funny how they are each other's karmic balance. These two were supposed to meet. But I really think that these two, even though they haven't been whining and complaining and crying, I think that they would have had a right to do so, because I think that these both have been like hit by a Mack truck when it comes to love. I think that these two have been misused and mistreated in love again and again and again. We saw that already. We saw cheating, we saw being abandoned, we saw all of that. Given everything right down to my lifeblood, given all of my money. Somebody took all my money and then ran off with a third party. They were cheating the whole time. Like, those are ugly, stories to have to tell about what their love lives have been. But for everything that has been wronged, everything that didn't go right, all I can say is that these two are each other's like saving grace. This is the universe putting it right for these two. They're finally meeting somebody that is as strong as they are, as will be. I think that there's going to be so much respect here, so much love here. Let me just ask though, because I do have to say, this is not just the karmic justice though coming in where, we can be happy for them. But this is usually where the wheel of fortune flips, and the people who've cheated and done not very nice things, they start to have some repercussions. And so I have to just ask, even though I don't mean to sound vindictive, but what happens to all the grimy exes? Three of Swords, Queen of Swords. They either hear through the grapevine that these two individuals have found each other, are moving on, are happy, are looking like a gorgeous, sexy couple together, are building an empire together, are well respected. This feels like the karmic justice is that we have exes that are feeling pretty heartbroken over this now. The people that cheated in the past, they are actually experiencing heartbreak at this point. That they are realizing that it's very, very clear right now why they're heartbroken. They messed it up. They were lucky enough to meet really great people that could have helped them heal, and instead they did those people dirty in order to return to their exes, or to cheat, or to play, mind games. They know it clear as day. It's very obvious. It's very transparent. And they also know that they can't come back. These exes are not probably even going to attempt to reach out again, because they already know it's too late. You met somebody who's treating you better than I ever did. Now I know I cheated on you. I cheated on, or abandoned, or the things that I did. It's me who lost out. I gotta say, the thing that I'm glad about though is that we don't see these exes trying to come back in and make a mess of this new union. Not that I think it would work, because if that worked, if these two who finally meet each other, who've done all this work on themselves, if one or the other was to bounce back to one of these crummy exes who cheated on them, it would be a karmic cycle of epic proportions. And we're not dealing with karmic cycles where, oh, I had an ex who I was with, but then they cheated on me, and now I'm with you, and you're wonderful, and you had that happen to you too, but we're going to be good together. But oh wait, the ex that cheated on me is calling me. I think I might go back to them. You see what I'm saying? That would just be like the exact same never-ending, like spreading heartbreak like a freaking disease. And that's not what's going on here. This is where the buck stops. This is why we have the scythe. This is why, and I think that's a really important message in this storyline. There's no repeating cycles anymore. Hallelujah. It took two people who were strong enough, two empaths that were strong enough, even though Lord knows they've been hurt so many times, but they were strong enough to break the cycle of what had been being done to them, and then not end up going through a cycle. And basically, it's hard to do the thing that has never been shown to us. Like, how does anybody break a cycle if they've never had anything but meanness shown to them? How do they decide to be kind? How do you decide to be strong and truthful when all you've known is weak people that lie? How do you decide to do that? Well, thank God there are characters that are strong enough and have enough backbone and enough, I guess I'll say, like, strength and integrity to make those changes and say, just because all I've ever known is that, it doesn't mean that that's what I'm going to be, because I know that that's messed up. I'm not going to do that to somebody else. In fact, I want to break this chain. I want to break this. So this is a much deeper story. It's not even just about love as much as it is how do some characters have that inherent strength to be determined to change the outcome so that it's not a repetitious cycle of cheating and lying and, let that just be every day, every year. This is just what I do. I was cheated on, lied to, so now I do that to other people, or I had exes play with me, so now I play with people. Like, they don't do that. Those are amazing characters we just described, I think. All right, I'm going to leave this here. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Great to see everybody. Jessica H, hey. Hi, Debees. Tammy Secord, Violet, Victoria Rose Noir. Hey, T.A. Kill. Patrician, hi, sweetie. Great to see you guys. Friendly Fires is in the house. April O'Neil, hi, love. Hi, Sabrina. Oh, Sabrina, thank you for reminding me. Thank you guys so much for giving it a thumbs up. I'm so appreciative. I forget to say that, and I know there's like 222 of you in here, and 89 of you gave me a thumbs up. Thank you so much. It really does help the channel, but I forget to say it sometimes. So thank you guys. Bridget Gore, hi. Hi again, Morgan, thank you. I love that, Victoria Knox. I agree with you completely. Thalia Chavez, great to see you. Rachel's Magic, you always know all the songs. I love it. Thank you so much. RS, yes, I agree. Tea is life. Thank you again so much, Morgan. That's so generous of you. Mirabuka, hi. Black Butterfly. Roxanne, great to see you. Happy New Year, honey. Dragon Fortnite, hi, sweetie. 11-8, thank you. Yes, I've got my big old flowers on. But I did get rained on pretty heavily, so I'm kind of a mess again. But so Liz, thank you, honey. I'm so delighted you're here. No, you're definitely not blocked, honey. I think probably that, well, you know that you're not blocked because you're here writing, and I have no power to block notifications. I wouldn't want to do that. But I do know that YouTube has problems. Sometimes their notifications won't go out. And what I have heard is that sometimes what will help is if you unsubscribe and then resubscribe, sometimes that'll help kind of like reset the little algorithm brain thingy. I think it just shows again and again how non-functional the whole AI algorithm stuff really is. I think there's a lot of problems with all of that stuff, but you know what? I'm still just super grateful because I feel like YouTube is such a wonderful place that, hosts videos. And so I just don't gripe about it other than when we talk about like the AI systems and stuff. I'm like, yeah, none of that stuff actually works from my opinion, just from what I see. But all that being said, I'm still super grateful, but yeah, maybe try that and see if it helps. But I have had a lot of complaints of people saying, I never get your notifications. Why don't I? And I do know that you do have to click on a little bell because you can select, even once you're subscribed, you get to select if your notification bells are turned on or off. But even then, I know people will still say, yes, I do that. And still I can't find you. I've had people tell me that I think Mirabuka actually told me that I'm subscribed to your channel. I've watched you for years and I can never find you unless I type in your name to go find you. You never come up in my suggested list, nothing. It's like you're always hidden from me. And all I can say is, I'm so sorry that happens, you guys. It's frustrating for me as a content creator because then how does my videos ever get circulated? And it seems like I'm always fighting against the algorithms to try to get my stuff seen. That's why it helps so much when you guys give the thumbs up and stuff. Or it's supposed to help. I don't know. But all I can say is it makes me so much more honored that you guys would take the time to look me up to come visit my channel. So I just feel extra, extra special. Anyway, sorry guys, but enough about that. But I do try to explain it to the best of my knowledge base when we have those little problems, and it's imperfect, but it still works pretty good. So I'm pretty delighted that I'm still here. Hi, Atala, Deepa, T-Baby, great to see you, love. Hey, Nope. Hey, Jerry, how are you? Nancy, Mimi's in the house. Hi, love. I haven't said hi to you in ages and alive. All right, you guys, take care. I am going to bounce on over to the other channel as well. I've been really behind. Oh, so Liz, you angel, thank you so much. Good, Victoria Knox. I'm so happy to hear that. Peace and love. Hi, sweetie. You guys are right on time. Mirabuka, yeah. Um, I've thought so, Mirabuka. I think that's so weird. I don't know why it's like that, but thank you, love, you little angel. I am so touched, Mirabuka. Mirabuka, can I pull a card for you, honey? The fact that you have to put in so much effort just to find my channel. Timothy Gorman, hey, Courtney Walsh. Hi, Samira. Great to see everybody. Genesis Harvest, hi, honey. Melissa J, Happy New Year to you also. 01 Frequency. Yes, all right, Mirabuka, I'm going to pull one for you right now, and then I'll bounce on out of here. Let's just see. Do we have a message? Actually, let's go with this deck. And occasionally, guys, if I have a minute, I'll just randomly do this once in a while just because I love you guys and I'm really appreciative of you guys. And I like to show it when I can and at least little surprise moments. So Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune is, especially knowing that we're entering into a new year, this is very auspicious. We have something here about divine timing, but I look at it like, I don't know where our character has been in their life, but it feels like no matter what age our character is at, it's like they just turned the timer over and it starts all over again. Like they get a whole second chapter of life. They get a whole second life. You know, sometimes we can live and we've written our life story and we have this career and we have all these life experiences and we are who we believe we are. And then we kind of feel rejuvenated and we feel young again and we feel like we could change pretty much anything and live a whole second chapter. And it's like we don't forget who we used to be, but we go through a pretty significant transformation. We have a Queen of Cups in the reverse. This is that gentle reminder to not cling too much to things that we've already accomplished, because those are lessons we don't have to relearn. A Queen of Cups can hold on to things, and that doesn't leave space for the new, the refreshed, because our character, let's put it this way. And I'll say this because it's very appropriate, like wardrobe and fashion and styles. Okay. My mom and I together, we really like clothing. And I'm not saying we're fashionistas or that we have great taste, but in our minds, you know, we kind of do. But I've always had to push my mom, and she's very beautiful. My mom's lovely. And she, at a certain age, she was like, well, because, you know, I'm 60 now, I should be wearing like very conservative and way up here and kind of loose. And I was like, no, you got a nice body, got a nice décolleté, tighter, lower cut, show off your physique. I don't care that you're 60. You're not aging yourself. I'm not letting you do that. And she'd be like, oh, Kate, this is terrible. And I would be like, okay, here, I'll take a picture of you in this. Now put on what I told you to and let me take a picture. I said, now pretend it's not you and tell me which of these images look better. And she was like, well, what you dressed me in. I was like, yeah, because you got a nice figure. And that has been a consistent like battle to like let ourselves, even though we do, I understand that, you know, she wanted to cling to, yes, but there are these rules of society. And I'm like, but you're still, you know, dress for who you actually are. Who cares about societal rules? Wear the bikini, do the thing that looks good on you. You know, if you don't like something, by all means, don't do it. But if you do like it, why would you cling to these outmoded ideas of society? You don't have to age yourself. You don't have to put yourself in a bracket. You don't have to cling to things that really are neither here nor there. And I think that this character, if they want to update their wardrobe and, you know, dress differently and flashier and sexier and embrace this second youth that they have, they can do it and they'll look amazing doing it. Instead, like, don't hold back and say like, but there are the rules said I have to be X, Y, and Z because that's who I used to be, or that's how it was, you know, in a generation ago. And it says, no, embrace this whole second youth, this whole second opportunity. Don't carry old ideas or old expectations or old lessons that we've already learned, because this is a chance for a brand new, fresh start in everything. Get that, you know, edgy hairstyle, do the thing, you know. I'm using visuals in the storyline because I think that's a great way to be able to see it in our mind's eye. But in truth, this is just about anything in life, not needing to stay attached to who we used to be in order to move forward into this second fresh start. Because this is a character who could live a whole nother lifestyle, whole nother chapter of life, oh, this is vitality. This is fun. This is sexy. This is awesome energy. So anyway, that's the message on that one. But anyway, you guys, thank you so much for everybody being here. Lots of love to you guys. I will see you again. I'm going to hop over to my other channel now, and we'll get some of the zodiacs done because I am way behind. You sweetheart. Thank you so much. Lots of love to you, Mirabuka, and everybody else. Alex, hi. Samira, you sweetheart. You're so kind. Well, now my mom is in her late 70s, and you know what? I still tell her that. Oh yeah, Samira, you sweetie. Thank you so much. I'm good. I sound worse than I am. It's the weather. As soon as I'm outside in the rain, as you can see, since I came back in all wet, I'll cough for a bit, but that's all right. It's just asthma. Thank you guys. You're so lovely. Thank you, so Liz, and so honored you made it today. Kristen Alphabet. Hi, sweetie. It's been a long time. All right, you guys, take care. I will see you on Case Regretless Life. Bye.